How's it going, YouTube Nation? I am Average Will, and welcome to the Maiden Voyage, the first show of Thursday Thoughts. It's going to be a little town hall, open discussion kind of thing where I put up a topic for the night and some folks can come and hang out on the panel, join us in chat, and we can talk about those specific topics that go throughout the community. I love these talk-style videos or live streams, so I figured with changing up the content here on the channel, bringing in some different stuff, I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. And this is one of the things I wanted to do, to bring a Thursday live stream to the channel. And, you know, catchy little name, Thursday Thoughts, where we talk about the different stuff that come up. It could be like tonight. Tonight's going to be cameo and first appearances and all that fun stuff. So, it'll be interesting to see how, the discussion goes with it. But it's one thing that, let me turn my alarm off, to see, because some people feel, what's called a cameo, what's called a first appearance, what's called a first full appearance and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out. First, I want to say hello to chat. How's it going, Paul Dunn? How you doing? Hidden Gem Comics, how you doing? Thank you for coming by. And yeah, so I do have at least one person that's going to be stopping by on the panel. I will drop the link in the comments below, or in the chat, not comments below, but in the chat to invite, open invite, essentially, have folks come on here and we can discuss and have a good time, right? I'm all over the place, man. I'm all nerves. I'm all nerves. So we'll see how this all goes. But yeah, I'll give it a couple more minutes and let some folks roll in. I know there's a couple of sales going on tonight. Some great auctions here on YouTube and everything like that. So we'll see how this all rolls out. And I hope everything is coming through clear. I hope the audio is good. My video seems like it's all right. And look, I even came prepared, and we got notes, right? That is now ripped. So, Gem Cena. Nice. Get some of this head off of here. I've been drinking, before we get into this, not sponsored, by the way, I bought a variety pack of these New Belgium beers. And this one's an IPA. It's Voodoo Ranger. It's not bad. The one I had the other night, the 1554, that one was really good. I really enjoyed that one. So it's pretty cool. Different things. Been playing a game with my son, letting him pick out the ones for me to try. This one's not too bad. There's a citrus one. So let me get into it then. We're going to get into this because I don't want to take up too much everyone's time. But, again, want to start the discussion and have a good time and everything. So I like this. Let's show that. We're going to do this as well. We're going to show some comments. We're going to start incorporating that as well in the channel. So I hope you guys are doing great. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I appreciate you guys being here. So I'm not crazy about the whole discussion. My thought and, thoughts about this, and I'll share that after we get into it in regards to like the debate between cameo and first appearance. So looking at it, what do we consider a cameo, right? Is that their first showing in a comic? Do they have words, or is it just an image of them? Do they get called by their name? And then, going on to first appearance and second appearance, first full appearance, and all that fun stuff. There's some that are huge, hugely debated in the community. You just got home from work a few minutes ago. How about me? I'm doing good. Oh, you're asking him? Oh, look at that. So, it's like a cameo is usually a small little appearance in a property. It could be, in a movie and stuff like that. And then you have obviously a first appearance is the first full showing of that character. One of the biggest ones we obviously know is the whole Wolverine. Is it Hulk 180 or Hulk 181? Like that whole debate, because some people feel like Hulk 180 could be a first appearance because he says words. But I feel like in that case, we're looking at something where, I think that's more of like a cameo where, he's on the last page in the last panel. And yeah, he has words, but that's more of a cameo. And then in 181, he gets a full run. So that's first full appearance. And then, of course, you have stuff like Gambit that comes up, right? Gambit's an interesting one because you get with what is it? X-Men 266 is considered his first full appearance. And then you got X-Men Annual, which is, you know what, I'm going to do this. If anyone wants to join, let me drop this down because I'm floundering. I'm floundering here. So if you guys want to hop on in and we can talk about this because I'm on the struggle bus already. So, but anyhow, like with Wolverine, you're not Wolverine, Gambit. The whole problem there was you had the Annual was supposed to be after, and it was released before. It was a few weeks beforehand. Black Suit Spidey's another one. Yeah, that's all over the place. Because what's Black Suit Spidey's first full appearance? You know, what is that considered? And all that. So it's interesting to see how some people get upset about it. I know Punisher's another one where it's like, it's a weird one because what was it? 120 ASM 129 was considered his first appearance. And then what 130 is it 135 is like a cameo appearance, and then 134 is considered by some as a cameo appearance, and then 135 is considered a second full appearance, something like that. It's weird how they verbiage it, and I guess you can look at different sites as well. Like obviously, Key Collector ranks things differently, and you know versus some other folks, you know. And again, even like with CGC and CBCS, how they label their books in the in the description. Marvel team up because you have it. Nice. Well, yeah, right. If that's the way you have it, but I'll use one, and I'm gonna use an example because I talk about it all the time. Is continuity too, right? Because what's in the continuity? I consider this, which is What If number 10. That, in my opinion, is Jane Foster as Thor. That's the first appearance of Jane Foster as Thor. I don't care if it's not in continuity or not. So I guess it's kind of like how you look at it as well. So, but you know, again, if you're like, oh, because I have it, definitely the first. And then what is it in the Jason Aaron run? Is it 25? Is where they consider that her first appearance or first cameo, and then obviously Mighty Thor 1, where she is the full on Thor mantle and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so again, I dropped the link in the chat. I'll drop it again if anybody wants to hop on. You guys are free to join and come hang out. So I'm not sitting here floundering around miserably by myself. How's it going, Cole? Welcome. Thank you for coming by. So I don't know if it's my nerves. I don't know why I feel so nervous with doing something like this. When I do live streams every week, I don't know. I just like super nervous, super like worried. And yeah, so if you guys want to hop in, here's the link. If anyone wants to hop in, there's the link. You're a hot mess. I'm a hot mess. I'm all over the place right now. Pick a number 1 through 5. 3. How about that? Number 3. Oh, here we go. We got our first guest. Bring on Mr. Fox Crown.
Big Willie style. How are you?
How you doing?
Wow. Actually, I'm bigger than you in this one. Is it because I'm like so close? I'm 2 feet from the camera. Is that
a little bit further away.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Thank you for. I can't believe I passed the security clearance to come on live again. It's great news.
You made it. Yeah. You picked the 4th man. I picked the 4th man. Nice. Nice Mando setup, man.
It's what I do.
Yeah.
This is the way, man.
Yeah.
See, so, you have your grails. I have mine.
Yeah, I see that.
I mean, you humble mine. I've got actually. Oh, I realized this is the Mando setup. Got one slab here. It's my baby.
Which one is that one?
It's kind of
oh, nice. I like that one.
This is my favorite. This is like my grail. I don't think I'll own anything cooler. Oh, actually, this once I get a slab of that bad boy.
Nice.
but yeah, you've got way more of a comic sub, that's for sure.
I don't know, man. You post some up. He dropped out. I was gonna grab him in. Cole was there for a second, but yeah, no. You got. What are you talking about? You got a nice little. You've been showing off and flexing your comic game.
I gotta consult with you. Your people have to talk to my people of how. I mean, I know how you can set up comics. I'm limited working with like limited space that I trust. I mean, so like in one room, I had around a window. I had like a major flood from the attic. And like came through, and I was like, oh, that's where they were. They were like around a window frame, kind of like what you got going on around.
Gotcha.
And then I got escape damage, and then since then I don't hang anything. They're like secure. I'll take them out for a little photo flex. And that's it. Then they go back into the vault. You know.
Yeah.
You got it good. Even your pops, are those vaulted vinyl cases, or is that custom?
No, that's custom. I'm actually going to be dropping my video on Monday. Is going to be me putting together, because I built them, because I've had a lot of people ask me about them. How's it going, Bigsby? Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, I just got some trim board, some 1x8 trim board or 1x6 trim board, and made them myself.
Nice. You
spray painted them. Yeah,
I'm a city boy, dude. I know how to take the subway. I know how to order Chinese.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they look good though, because they look like what everybody's buying. You know that.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing is like, because the display ones, when I first started collecting, and we'll get back into the whole debate here, but it's a nice little conversation here. Oh, he went away again. I was trying to grab you, Cole.
He's a slippery fish.
Yeah, he is. I just can't get my hands on him.
You gotta grab him by the beard. That's where you grab
yeah, right.
By
get him by the scruff. Yeah, by the scruff.
But did I interrupt? What did I interrupt? I'm sorry. We're talking about
No, you didn't interrupt anything. No. He tried to flirt with the fox ground. Nice. But yeah, so I was looking when I first started collecting, because I originally had like a utility storage shelf thing that I had them sitting over in the corner on. And I'm like, I got to find a better way to display these. So I started looking, and I looked at the whatever it was the Funko Pop display things that were made out of cardboard. And it was like $12 or $15 for one, and you got like 8 of them in there or something like that. You could fit 8 Funkos in them. And like, that just seems like a lot of money for cardboard. So I was like, let me make my own. And yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, I grabbed some, I made some. The one I made for the video is going in my son's room, so for his little display.
You painted it blue, or I imagine?
No, he wanted green. We went with a darker green.
My favorite color.
Yeah. Well, same here. Yeah.
But before this, it was always green anyway.
Yeah, I was always a big Hunter's green fan, and then just always green. And my daughter liked green, and then she changed it to black. So
kids.
Yeah.
Oh, black when around like age 14, 15.
About that, yeah, middle school years,
right,
yeah.
What's crack-a-lacking, man? How was your comic?
Not much. Just trying this whole new idea out with the whole first appearance and cameo stuff, like these Thursday thoughts. Again, chat, if you guys don't want to hop on, let me know your thoughts in the chat on what you guys think about the cameos and first appearances and stuff like that. I know it's like, I don't know, for some reason I thought it was a little bit more of a heated debate on which ones aside from the ones I talked about, like Punisher, Gambit, Wolverine, that really spark conversation when it comes to what's their first true appearance and their cameo.
Those are the big 3, right?
Yeah, and then obviously, what's that?
I mean, there's definitely more. I mean, what about just like recently? Oh, your guy Thor, right?
Oh my God, yeah. That's what I was going to get into.
21. See, that's the debate. We're living in real time, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be one. If this matures and not Grail.
True.
You know what I mean?
True. No, and that's what I was going to talk about too. Was afterwards, just like as we got into it about that, because again, we got to with this the whole 20 dropped and everybody lost their minds and was buying it up and upselling it, and then 21 came out and we're like, well, wait, hold on, this is the first full appearance. Yeah. So,
but everybody's ready for it. They were ready for 21.
Yeah.
So you've got. I think a lot of the it has. It's if you hold it right. I'm going to argue, since I missed 20. Fox is going to argue 21 till the day he dies. That's like my personal allegiance to my book. But also, I guess it's like subjective, right? What's the definition? Not just like book by book, but you have to be consistent. If you say, okay, what is a true in your head, and then just label it, go down the list,
Right.
and you'd probably disagree with yourself on a couple, because to me, I don't know, like, do hands count? Venom, another one, Eddie Brock.
Right. The first
know?
appearance of his hand and stuff like that.
Like,
yeah.
Or to me, see, I don't know, and like, you're way more of a comic guy than I do when it comes to certain things. Like you're encyclopedic compared to me by far. But
I don't know. I've got a lot of room to grow. But I'm going to bring in. We got the company artist here as well. That's going to be joining us. How's it going, Bixby?
What's going on?
I thought the
going. How you doing, man?
About to say
Good. How about
the artist?
Well, he was invited. We'll see if he stiffs me. He's been crying that he's like, oh, we got to do stuff together. We got to do something together. And it's like,
last I heard,
open cards.
Daddy,
yeah.
What's going on?
my tummy moved.
Is that Jack?
That's Jack in the background.
Nice.
Hey, Jack.
Hi.
My name is Fox.
Hi.
What's that? Nice PJs.
Thank you.
He's all ready for bed, so
Oh yeah. Johnny's laying down right now. He should be out any minute.
My tummy moved.
you're fine.
Last I saw, Wink looked like chaperoning a kindergarten dance or something.
Yeah. He was
He's
pulling the whole chaperone duty.
He's recruiting young.
He was
Got to start that farm, right?
he was doing the running man in the background.
Wasn't. I
Oh
did.
yeah.
He did. He ate the last cup.
And then, I know, like, when we talk about these, like, when we're talking about, like, first appearances, cameos, it seems like the priority, the meat of them is obviously around, like, Marvel and DC stuff. I'm interested in now with, like, a bunch of these, like, it's going heavy indie now being option and whatnot, something like that. How's it going, Unboxing Treasures? Is that really going to have any weight, like what a character's first appearance is? I just know from the Something's Come to Children stuff, being on some of the fan boards and everything, people like have a whole like their own like key collector thing with, oh, this is this person's first appearance. This is this person's first appearance. It's like, does that really carry weight in the indie game the same as it does in like the big two?
At least what on, like, if people are quoting,
Like
key
with the weight
collector
of
as
it.
a Bible?
Like the weight of, I guess it's, one of the things I want to talk about is just with how like everyone chases for that first appearance, obviously, or like the first cameo. And then like, because when the first cameo and first appearance becomes too high priced, then they look at that second appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we'll ever see that kind of thing happen with like the indie books. Will like first appearances, and again, I don't know how that's going to translate for the indie stuff.
Well, even though I don't know when we should have stopped considering Image indie, but for the sake of not being big too, I mean, going back to Spawn, there's, I wouldn't say super questionable appearances there, but when is that's kind of when I first, and I was young when that came out, but when I was considering Spawn as not just the fandom, but I was like, speculative investment, or maybe just like value as opposed to just cool factor.
Right.
Then I'm like, oh, okay. Well, to me, first cover is more important to me. Maybe not to eBay, but than it is that a second appearance or even like a cameo. First full appearance is A, covers B. This is me speaking, and I guess it's breaking the rules. But yeah. So
like they were saying, they brought up obviously Angela with Spawn 9. Now she's no longer tied to the Indiever, to Spawn as much as now she's been brought over to Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that book, I've got a few copies that actually I'm getting graded, and I have a few copies in my collection for that day that she's actually brought in to the MCU in some capacity, and when we're actually going to see her come into live action.
I would love it. That would be so cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
pipeline, right? Everything's in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Marvel's got all the money. Everything's possible. It's just a matter of time.
You never know. Oh, look at that. Quick draw is like, oh no, it's the Scumlander. Nice. Oh, yeah. I love that too, that aspect that you do on the good old IG.
Oh, the scumbag.
The scumbag. Yeah, how you incorporate that and everything. It's great.
Well, you know what it is. I don't know if you recall. There's a lot of malarkey back in the day.
Oh yeah.
All I did initially was rebrand what somebody was maliciously and incorrectly labeling me and others.
Right.
And it's worked like a charm. I am way more popular a scumbag than I ever was a night owl, than I ever was a fox or crown or Sean for that matter. Like, I went to fill out a form the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
A customs label.
Yeah.
And instead of putting SH and filling out my name, I actually started putting SCU. You know, like, it's bad, dude. It's bad. So,
Nice.
You are what you
You
is.
carry it, man. You do a good job with it. You've made that your brand, which has been
Scumbag looks
great.
good on me.
Hey, listen, we like I tell my guys in the field, you wear yourself on your sleeve. So you do a good job with that.
Yeah.
You want to see a comic cover battle. I didn't come prepared. I didn't pull any of my comics out. And some of these I don't have. Obviously, I don't have the Hulk 180 or 181.
Hey, Willie, I have been preparing for this live all day. I've got all my comics around me. I built a fort. I'm going to have to sleep here in the middle. Cover battle. I mean, look at this wall, guys. I can't even touch the fifth book in.
Man.
Oh gosh, I can't even. I don't look anymore. I'm getting discouraged. But
no, mine's puny to so many others. How's it going, Mitch? Total Mitch and Collectibles. Thank you for coming in. So yeah, I mean, like with the one, I didn't even know about the Taskmaster thing, the 186 over the 185. Nice. How's it going, Teresa Newell? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for everyone who's coming and hanging out. I appreciate you guys.
Well, then I have the question too, like, what about something like Invincible, where you have like or even Strange Academy, where you have the previews in the different books. So what was it? Thor #2, I want to say.
Yeah.
Had that, but then they also had Ravencroft, Ruins of Ravencroft, where they showed up, or
right.
Invincible, I know, showed up in G.I. Joe #12. Do they consider those cameos? I mean, because that preview is what, a 5-page preview or something like that. Like, it's a pretty decent sized preview.
Yeah, previews count to me. That's
because Spider-Man 2099. That's another thing. In 365 they had to preview there, so it's like you have that whole thing with is that Spider-Man 2099's first appearance? Is it a cameo considered, or is it because again, you got the previews, you have all these different intricate things, and like I saw in one debate they were talking about the whole Wolverine, because that's where it kind of sparked wanting to talk about this stuff tonight. Is somebody mentioned the proto costume, like Wolverine's proto character design was in some book. I can't remember what book it was, and they're like, well, is that considered his first cameo? And it's like, well, I don't know. Boom. I think that's more of a proto thing.
Wasn't it Foom?
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
So yeah. I'm unfamiliar. It was like what, like a design, or the actual costume?
It was just his design, I think, at the time.
It was a character design that a fan sent in, and it was named Wolverine. And it had some similarities, from what I remember, to the end design of Wolverine from, Hulk 180.
Oh, totally. Do you know who's arguing that the most? The kid who drew it.
Yeah, and he never got credit for it.
But that's my grandfather. Or I'm going to argue. Yeah? I'm going to 23andMe. He's about to become my grandfather.
Yeah, quick draw. That was the one I was talking, and that's the thing. Like when it comes to the Gambit thing, because of the intended first appearance versus what was actually published. When you have that, you come to that with X-Men 266. That was intended to be Gambit's first appearance, and then what happens is that doesn't get released first. The annual gets released first, and it has Gambit all in it. So it's like, well. That's why people feel that one is the one that is his first true appearance. And then you have the debacle we had with Virus, right? With the first appearance of Virus, was it in the Free Comic Book Day, or was it in, what was it, Venom 26 or something like that? And you had that whole debate because one was pushed back because of COVID and the publication of it.
Wow. I'm just seeing for the first time. Thank you for putting me on. So this is what we're talking about? Foom? 1973.
Yep. I believe that's what it is.
That. And it's called The Wolverine by poor Andy, my grandpa, Andy Olson. And, I mean, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't know. But a good lawyer or team, it's the metal in the skin, I guess. I don't know. But the name, I mean, that's an animal, right? And like a mascot for a college team. Other than that, for a superhero, that's pretty, I don't know, sounds like some pedigree.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the crazy thing too about it. So now when we're talking previews, like again, because we had that a couple times. We had with Thor #2, you had the preview for Strange Academy. Obviously, with Something's Killing the Children 7, you had the preview for Wind. So, what ends up being classified in that? And that's the indie world on what would be considered. So, say we know Something's Killing the Children's being made. It's got a writing team and everything. They got the writers that did Midnight Mass and Haunting of Bly Manor and the other one. So I think that's going to be coming to life here in the next couple of years. So when that actually comes out, I wonder if, obviously 7 has a high value anyways because of its small print run. So I don't know. So what do you got, chat? You guys have any other ones, any other examples that you guys have on what would be considered in that debate? I know the Black Suit Spider-Man has, just because that's like between 3 different books that could be potentially linked to that.
What about, did I hear you mention Eddie Brock already too?
We talked about the hand, yeah.
See, and that I think is, in my opinion, I think that's kind of cheating. Like, because that could really be anybody. That's, it's just a hand. Right. You're not seeing a person. You're not seeing, it's just a hand that pops out and, pushes Peter onto the tracks. It didn't stop me from buying the book, but
no, yeah, there's that, right? So, yes,
buying it and then paying, right? On the difference.
Actually, that was one that I think I bought. I want to say it was like a $1 bin book for me.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you get lucky because you have you've got the half price bookstore.
Yeah.
And the stories I've heard of the books you've robbed them of. Oh my gosh.
Well, okay, so just recently, I have to tell you this because I know you'd appreciate it. The first Black Winter, Thor #2, I got that for $1.50.
Oh my god!
And it's it is just pristine condition.
From what town is this again? Please, thank you.
That's for Thor #2. Oh, what town is it?
Yeah, I'm not telling. But yeah, there have been times, and that's I do get, I definitely recognize that. I walk in and not expecting to find anything, and I walk out with $200 worth of books for $10.
Wow, that's such a blessing because considering, as much as I hate to get priced at the register by an LCS for better or worse, right? And they're trying to make money, but come on, I found it. I'm working for you. But in the age of the internet, right, when it's so easily, when you can almost just scan the barcode now, or just Google it real quick if there's none, for gems in the wild to still be out there, it's just baffling to me.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's, I used to try and do it on the down low when I would go, but now I'm just blatantly obvious. I will stand there. I'll pull out my phone. I'll pull up cover price or, the dreaded key collector or go collect and just be like, oh, is this worth anything? Oh yeah, this is a $90 book. Done.
Nice.
So In the LCS, not so much, because I like those guys. I do know pretty well, and they know me, and
And they know the hobby,
yeah,
and
and
they know what they've seen on their social media and eBay scrolling. If
yeah.
there's any book that comes out of nowhere, like Darth Maul 2, or I mean, really, whatever comes up, you're just gonna see something. Because, like, my baby cousin could be like, "Oh yeah, I've seen Mom scrolling that. That book's been all over her feed.
Yeah.
Must be
Well,
important." Something like
in
that.
my LCS too, they have the price tags that actually have the date code on the top to see. It says when it was priced. And there have been a few times where you can see, like Loki came out and, some Fantastic Four book all of a sudden the day after an episode came out, that went up to a $15 book when, everything around it was $2 or $3.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, I mean, they're not dumb, but.
No. I like flea markets, but not flea markets. I just say more like church sales. Flea markets, they know what they're doing. If you're paying for a table, you know what you're coming with, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when it comes to like the mom and pop cleaning out, or like not estate sales, but like moving sales, or
That's the big one.
I'm in NYC. You guys, I don't know if you guys, but evictions all over the place. And when they it's not like the marshal's going to show up when you're evicted. It's literally the landlord. I mean, around here, there's no holds barred. Your stuff is on outside the second
Right.
of the month if you're not ready. And I've literally just rolled up. I'm like, oh, this dude's getting kicked out. This person's gone, and it's going on the street. And what did I find? Not just action figures once. Never got comics, but garage sales have been good. So that's been fun. But it's so cold.
Yeah. See, what I want to do, I mean, like, I know the storage unit thing, man. We have, because in this area where I'm at, there's literally, it's almost like the Dollar Generals too. It's like we have one on every corner now. There's so many storage units. So that's one of the ways that I know a lot of guys. I haven't, because they do the auctions midday on like a Tuesday, and it's like, dude, I can't take time off of work to try to do that. But where there's been people who have found some gold mines in there of coins and comic collections and stuff like that. So you never know when you'll find a box of Skybox.
Justin's referring to, he's right. So this is like, I don't know, December something, November, December, and somebody was actually getting kicked out, and there was like a big dumpster outside, and they were like, I think it might have been foreclosure. Something happened. The whole house was getting gutted, right? And we went through that thing for hours. I found like old school Star Wars VHS. Wish I had the stuff handy. A box of 1991 Skybox cards, 1991. Sealed, a sealed hobby box. I wait outside of Target for sports cards like an idiot for hours on end. I go into I'm literally standing in the dumpster passing something thanks to my buddy Frank. VHS. I'm like, oh, give me a sealed Jaws. Come on, baby. All types of poker chips from like a Puerto Rican casino. Let me tell you, it's like most random stuff. I feel like the American Picker guys, but like the short, chubby one.
Nice.
I hear that too about GameStop. That they're throwing away unopened video games because it's an old platform and somebody's traded it in. They can't develop.
Right.
I've never gone to dumpster at one of those, but I know I get lucky with it, but I can't imagine I'd get that.
That's pretty lucky.
Yeah, we've got because we have like the strip malls around and stuff like that, where we have that, where there's a GameStop, there's a Raw, like even like clothes too. Like they'll, which I find it weird that like I'll see people post like, oh, where they're doing that kind of stuff. I'm surprised they don't donate the clothes, but I guess whatever, throw them out. But different stuff like what is it, the Hobby Lobby and stuff like that. People are dumpster diving their stuff all day, like all through that shopping plaza.
So it looks like we got a first appearance this week. Did you guys pick up Avengers? Is it 53? 53?
Who's the first appearance? I don't read Avengers, and I know it was big. Wasn't that one that had? Which one is the one that had the Mando cover on it? Right.
No, Mando
The tribute.
is Star Wars Darth Vader 20.
Okay, gotcha.
Where like the cover A is like Crimson Rain.
Gotcha.
I keep wanting to say Crimson Tide. Crimson Rain Mando Vader. This is the
that one right there.
the Sprouse variant. But
Gotcha.
this is Red Panther. Red Panther debuted.
Oh, okay.
I love this kid. We're gonna find. Hopefully we're gonna see this in a movie soon. I'm guessing.
We'll see. We'll see what that. And that's what I guess that's what I find funny is like because the whole God of Hammer thing that's going on right now with Thor, how 20 and 21, it felt like it felt a whole lot like Black Winter with 5. Like when 5 released, I remember. I mean, again, I have Thor on my pull list, so I didn't have to worry about it. And all that, which was nice because my shop did mark it up from being a cover price book to I think it was like at the time like 15. He didn't go the full $30+ that everyone was dropping. God, I remember that night, that Wednesday, watching Chad's auction on YouTube, and it seemed like every person that was going up was putting up a Thor number 5 for first Black Winter, and the thing was going over $30.
Yeah. Yeah, when those things pop, every auction, it's everybody selling every copy they have.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, and you can see too what books are trending, and I know it's your least favorite app in the world, Fox, but you can see what books are trending when you see the sellers are selling the same thing on Whatnot. Every auction you pop in, you're seeing
I get it.
Roughly the same handful of books.
Oh yeah, but see for me, so there's you go to eBay, Mercari, Whatnot. People are gonna make their money. I guess it's an easy hand. Well, you don't have to be a content creator on YouTube to appreciate mystery boxes in the Funko and comic world, right? You could still enjoy it. And it's kind of like a no frills, between all the apps, Whatnot, eBay, Mercari. You can just like buy and you can kind of check the spec and what's trending there. For me, what I think, what I appreciate about certain YouTube comic book auctions, for example, is that true collectors, but actually savvy people, and they're trying to make their money. So you'll see the week, just like Pops or anything else, what just dropped this week that's probably overpriced and it'll come back to Earth soon. But you FOMO. But then that same person selling is gonna throw up a book that some obscure thing, you're like, oh my god, that is so cool, and not ask the world for it because they've made their money on the hype beast book. Yeah. That's what I appreciate the most about the YouTube auctions, because they're a little more, I guess they cater to what I like,
Right.
They're still going to get my money. It's just, how are they going to get it? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's me. Like, I like them all. Like, I mean, I like everything. I like the, like, I'll sit, who is it? Sands. I like when Sands does his shows, his cookie shows. And then same with, like when the, like Adrian and the crew does their show on Saturdays. That's always nice. And all that. So it's cool. It's funny though. You could tell like when announcements happen, when something gets optioned. Recently you saw, what was it? Dead Day from Aftershock was announced that it's going to come to Peacock. It's actually signed to come to the network. Not, hey, it's optioned. And it's funny to see, like, all of a sudden you see that book being a $3 book on eBay jumping up, which is, again, it's part of the game. It's part of how that is. When something gets announced, the price spikes. But they're, again, talking in first appearances and everything. Like, somebody had a listing it's Dead Day 1, first appearance of the mom in the book, the first appearance of the son on the book and stuff like that. And I'm just like, that's where I guess I wanted, was getting into earlier on the whole indie thing, on how the indie thing is going to translate on that. Because again, it's more like when the indie stuff, they're not as pronounced as like the Marvel and DC stuff where, okay, we've got like Venom had the Donny Cates run, ended at 35. Now we're over with Al Ewing and Ron V. They're doing their thing. So now, thankfully, they've kind of kept the same kind of storyline-ish. Like, Dylan got the vet, or he was the new Venom, blah, blah, blah. But like with indies, it's pretty much they go to 5 issues, they go to 10 issues, and they're done. They might come back for another volume. How's it going, Kenneth Byrd? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Hope you're doing
Kenny
well.
Byrd.
Yeah, that is the name I have not seen in a while. Hope you're doing well, man.
A T-shirt.
So.
Ooh, what are you sipping on? IPA?
Oh, as I almost spill it on myself. Yeah, it's a Voodoo Ranger IPA.
I love that. I love it.
So, yeah, I picked, I was feeling, I was like, I wanted to try something different. So I was at Publix grabbing dinner one night and I was like, wow, they had a variety pack of different beers from New Belgium. So I grabbed it and I've been letting Johnny pick the beer for me to drink. And this
nice
was,
post. I like that feature.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Let him, again, it's not like he's drinking them, but I'm like, yeah, you pick the one I'm going to drink. And yeah, he likes that because he likes to pick what Dad's going to drink.
Does he go by like color or design?
No, well, the one, like, he didn't like this one because obviously it had the skeleton on it, and so it was a little scary for him.
Yeah.
The first night it was the citrus,
the orange,
and it had the big old
guy.
orange. Yeah, it was,
like
yeah, exactly.
Like
big old smiling orange, and he's like, "Oh, this one." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." So, and then
they got a good one. If you're into like a little more hazy, they have one called Future Hop.
Okay.
Future Hop Voodoo makes it's really yummy. Super blue. It's like titanium blue. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So what you working on, Bigsby? Yeah, I'll have to try that. I'll have to look for that. Oh, nice.
What? You just did that now?
Oh yeah, he does sketch cards, man. And he does some great work.
Yeah, just since I got on, just playing around, I did comic book in a day challenge. I won it last year, and the terms of my winning is I be a judge this year. So we had the winners last week, and I have to. One of my picks, he was a 6-year-old boy that did a comic about being bullied and gaining confidence, actually defeating his bullies by not using violence, but by using his confidence. I thought it was such a great story. I'm like, man, he's going to get an award from me. So he's getting a blank sketch cover. And of course he wanted Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
It's been a hot second since I've drawn Spider-Man. So I'm like, before I start throwing this on a sketch cover, I better work this out a little bit.
That's sweet. Man, 6 years old with that kind of. Wow.
Yeah. Honestly, it kind of, hit close to me just because my son is 6. And, there have been some times where he's come home and, he's been saying, oh, so-and-so's picking on me. The funny thing is nobody really bullies him because he's at least a full head taller than anybody else in his class. But, I definitely, that one kind of got me right away. As soon as I saw it, after the challenge was done and they were presenting, I'm like, yeah, I like this one. So he did it with his mom. So she wrote it for him, but he drew all the pictures and.
Well, that's cool.
He presented it. That must have been, dude. I think I might have cried. If I hear the kids say it, tell me that story, I'm losing it.
Well, so we had breakout sessions where each featured artist judge had a group of people, and we would have them for about 2 hours each. So when he came to my group, I was like, "Oh, what are you working on, buddy?" Because I was trying to get my son to do it that day too, and he didn't want to sit down and draw for 8 hours. So I'm like, "What are you working on? Show me your." And he had the whole thing laid out already. He was working on all the pictures. He was describing it to me, and as he's describing it, I'm just like, "You go."
Nice.
So, and I'm like, "Is this personal? Were you getting bullied?" He's like, "Yeah, I was." And as soon as he said that, and I'm just like, "Oh man, wrong." So
that's sweet. What book are you using? Is it his?
No, I have. This represents about, I would say probably a sixth of the stack of blank comics that I have. So I've got a bunch of different stuff to choose from. I'm not sure if I'm going to go Ultimate Fallout 4.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I've got a bunch of blank books here, so I'll pick one of them. So he didn't care. He just wanted Spider-Man on a blank cover.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I do. I have I can't get the full stack, but it is probably,
I bet.
what,
Wow.
18 inches thick.
That's cool. I like that.
Well, I might have to like sell some plasma, and when you have free time, maybe commission a book with you.
It's not that
$5
the corner.
million. Sorry,
What?
you broke up. You broke up. What'd you say?
I said it's not that bad. The corner can tell you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I got two of them. Yeah, I've got the Darth Vader one, and killer work. And then my Hulk one is put away right now because I'm rearranging the one wall. I'm gonna end up pulling this to put
you showed that
walls.
off on IG, I think. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because
the
I
Red
got
Hulk you did.
this is gonna be a personal grail for me. Blank. This is
Ooh.
hilarious. You guys see this?
Mangalorean.
The Mandalorian. It's like instead of bounty hunters, they're like he's a delivery driver and he's gonna drop off it's like Amazon versus Disney. It's the whole thing. It's an absolute over the top parody, but this is Mando's my thing, so I had to have this. Cost me more than the first appearance of Grogu, which is baffling. But anyway, yeah, man. I mean, we could chit chat for sure. Love that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing, Will? I'm slowly showing off my entire haul from yesterday. You see
Nice.
You see I'm weaving this in here?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what else you got? What else you got, Fox?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, what else you got?
I have 0 skills. Like our other guest here.
Because I have not picked up my books yet.
I show up other people's art. I just don't have any. I have some macaroni, but that's at Mom's house on the fridge. I got some cage. I'm a big cage guy. I had to get this.
Right.
I
like that cover.
I'm not even up on Devil's Reign. Yeah, but it's glare.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. He's just an absolute beast and boss. And
see, now that'd be a good cover as a Virgin variant. Just him there with the yellow behind him. I think that'd be a nice.
I don't know if that
displayed.
was not. They might do that. Do they ever do like versions after the fact? Because I mean, I checked out at least Midtown had absolutely everything.
I know that like some of the what was it? Unknown Comics was doing that for a while. I know they had some Thor and Venom stuff where it was like it was their second printing and it was the Virgin variant of that cover.
Yeah.
Because I think 4 and 5 or 4 definitely had, because the one that everyone calls the vagina cover, they did the Virgin variant of that one. So, but yeah.
I also like me some Gwen. I love me some X-Men Cyclops. Again, this is the Moon Knight one.
Yeah, because she's on all the covers. Yeah, there's a bunch of variants for her.
Show her off. I'm just digging it. I just dig it. I dig it. And it's not so, considering that Moon Knight isn't even in the latest issue. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I knew that. Yeah.
You can edit that out. Oh, wait.
I'm not going to edit. No editing.
You forget I said that.
Yeah.
But I think it's fitting. His name's there, but he's not in the cover or in the guts. But I do like that. I don't read High Republic whatsoever. My Star Wars universe is limited to Mando and Boba and kind of like the mainstream stuff, really.
Right.
But she looked too good. I'm a sucker for a redhead.
Nice. I like that cover.
Yeah.
What one is that? What cover is that one? I know that's not the A cover, is it?
This is. See, I'm a noob. I think this is so loud.
Oh, it's okay. I unbox stuff right in front of my microphone all the time.
I tell you what, I was in an auction the other night, and I had headphones in, and somebody was like, I guess, off screen, wrapping what they had just
taping
sold.
And everything. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I use the moving tape, like Scotch makes or 3M, I forget. I think it's Scotch makes moving tape as opposed to shipping tape. Does the same job, but it's absolutely silent. Like you could do it and sneak up on a Raccoon. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, like, and like, dude. I mean, see, I can't even tell you. But I know that another one. There were two. I think this is just B. I think because the other one, it's got to be B.
Because the other one I think had the brother sister combo on it. Yeah.
And of course, so like this is like I don't know what I'm doing with that, but and then Draculina, I really thought I was telling Lisa Noble like I really thought that I pulled a Chase in the wild sort of thing because there were like I think 12 different covers, right?
Right.
And then some behind the counter. These weren't even the incentives like on the rack. So when I saw this, I'm like, that looks cool. There was only one of them in the stack. From what I saw, they were like cosplay versions. And I look on the back and it says incentive cover D or E or whatever. I'm like, why is this out here? They're going to get me at the register. Midtown is so on top of everything, man. And he checked it and it stopped him because he looked at it again. He's like, wait, it's on the receipt on the computer. It's coming up. I could see it. It says incentive. It definitely raised a flag for him. Nothing. And Lisa told me it's like a 1 in 10. I was like, I have a 1 in a million. It's the only one. But I don't know. I'm digging her. Kind of got the anime vibe that I'm not absolutely obsessed with, but it was just different than every other version of him.
Yeah.
And I think that was the haul for the week. Oh, I got this last week. No, this is yesterday. No pizza. I mean, no pineapple.
Nice.
No pineapple on the pizza.
No pineapple.
Little Hawkeye.
Yep.
Such a good dog. But yeah, kind of a light week. I kind of go a little crazier for no reason. Because I don't read half of them. Because I'm a fake fan, Will.
No, the fake fan.
Such a cover whore.
I think you're a closet fan. You're a closet fan that you probably know more than you're leading on. But well, it's funny like how it's funny how you're saying like with they had that ratio cover, the incentive cover on the shelf, or they had it out to where they didn't have it marked up or anything. That's how like my shop was. How's it going, Mama J? Thank you for coming in. That's how it was with like Maniac in New York. Both the number one had a 1 in 15 that I got that. Those were sold at cover price.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so that was pretty nice.
Was that a mistake? Like they just blew it?
No, he's like, no, it wasn't. It doesn't come up. It listed as a B cover, but it's the 1 in 15 Luna cover, and Luna's also the one that did the 1 in 15 for the volume 1. So this week, I don't. This was going to be a topic for another one, but I want to talk about it. The Land of Living Gods. I don't know, Mina. I don't know if Paul's still around, but this book, there was the story was kind of talked about, but there was no art shown. Like the interior art wasn't shown. And this book was going for like there's exclusive covers for this book from Aftershock that are going for $200+ because there's some news that's going to be coming out. Possibly that's what the feeling it gives off, that this thing's going to be optioned. But I don't know. I read it online today, and I don't know. I wasn't blown away by it. It seems like an okay story, but not something that's going to make me go out and spend $40 on their 1 in 15, because they have a 1 in 15 that came out as well, and I can't see myself dropping $40-$50 for 1 in 15 on this story.
Jeez. Sometimes that's one of the few things. I don't know what time of the day you go to your LCS on Wednesdays. What time? Well, you pre-order too. Yeah,
I have a pull box. I rarely get there Wednesdays now. I usually will get there probably Fridays. Yeah, because where my shop is, it's about 30 minutes away from where I live, because that's the closest shop to me. And if I have a job that I'm running down in that area, or an estimate to do in that area, I'll hit it up on Wednesday. That's no problem. Or Tuesday evening, because he'll give me my books Tuesday evening. But to make that extra hour round trip drive when I'm as busy as I am, it's like, meh, I'll go on Friday or Saturdays. That's what I've been doing lately, is going Saturday mornings.
I asked because I wait online like I do for everything else, like 45 minutes, an hour before their 8 o'clock open. And this week, I think it's because the Mando cover, there was like 18 people ahead of me, which is baffling.
Wow.
Baffling. Usually it's under 10.
Yeah.
And when I get up there, there's like 3 groups, right? Maybe 6 went to the counter. They're trying to nail those incentives. 6 went to Avengers Star Wars area, right, where the Marvel and Star Wars are.
Mm-hmm.
The others went for Land of the Living Gods.
Yeah, Land of the Living Gods.
They went for that. When I tell you, I was like, which way do I go? Because I'm kind of riding the wave. Because like, if somebody also like that book flew off, but also like with the whole thing of Cad Bane in Boba Fett. See, I didn't watch. I'm thinking, everybody in this line, do they know something in the finale that I don't, and they're going for something? Do I follow them and I get what I really want? Because it's kind of like a bum rush. Everything,
right.
From sports cards to Pokemon to Funkos. When these gates open here, I don't know how it is by you, but it's like a mini, and I'm just as guilty because I'm a savage. I'll like push grandmas and step on kids. It's just ridiculous. But you know, when I go, it's like a baby Black Friday. It's like Black Wednesday. You know,
right?
And we're all winded because we actually have to go up like 20 stairs, right? These steep stairs in Midtown. You ever been in Midtown Comics?
I haven't. That's one place I want to hit. When I come up. That's one of the things. My plan is for NYCC is to make trips. I know I don't know what the distance is. I'm renting a car. I'm going to end up renting a car when I come up there because where my wife's cousins live to where the hotel is going to be that I'm staying at, I'm going to be driving back and forth. Obviously, after I'm done with the convention, at least one of the nights I'm going to have to go and do that if we both go up there because that's the plan right now. But I want to hit Midtown because that's one, and that's like a bucket list place for me.
Sure. The big one's in Times Square in the hub. The one I go to that's less of a mob scene because Times Square is absolutely zany no matter what you're there for.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is the steep stair, the fabled steep stair cliffs of Dover, Midtown Comics Grand Central. It's a little further east.
Okay.
We're all huffing and puffing when we get up the stairs. So not only are we winded, we don't know what we're doing. We're disoriented. And I'm thinking everybody's got a leg up. What do they know? And it turns out nobody knows anything. We're all just savages grabbing at straws, hoping we don't miss the next Black Panther 3.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, that Land in summary, that Land of Living Gods was like the top 3 book to get. And it wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
Not that I'm.
Yeah, I found. And again, just with like Paul, he's like Paul Dunn is like is my encyclopedia. He's like my 411. Anytime there may be an incentive or a cover release that's coming out or a book that's going to have some kind of heat, he seems like he knows it. So I joke, and he's like my little 411. And he was the one that told me, about a month ago, that about Land of Living Gods and everything, because there was some stuff that was some whispers out there on that book having something on it. But I was lucky enough to get, my shop told me I have my copies because I'll usually do 2 copies of a book because I want to keep one unread and I want to read one. But now that I read it, because I just bit the bullet and just read it online, I'm probably gonna put one up this weekend in one of my grab, because I'm doing some grab bags for the first time ever on Whatnot. So I might do that as one of the books that I put in there.
Nice.
As a pickup. Because again, if there's something that's going to be announced on it, if there's any kind of speculation around it being optioned or whatnot already, because that's like Shadecraft. Shadecraft was one that was optioned before the book even released.
Yeah.
And it was a good read. It was a really good read. But we haven't heard anything
selling it
since that. Right.
Put one up, you have one. You're not in love with the story anyway. It's not going to. Well, it may grab you. You never know. It could eventually. But
yeah, I look at that like Kaiju Score. That was one that I actually bought. Whenever I saw that in the previews, I was like, "Ooh, I did my normal like something like that where I like the story and I think it's something when I read it, because again, I know nothing really when it comes to the whole what's going to get spec'd, but I just like the story and the fact that it's kaiju and it seems like big monsters is selling right now. Is selling these last couple of years. So I did I got a few extra copies of each one that came out. And I got the incentive copies so that I have them in my collection. And that's been optioned and is moving forward, it looks like, as that's going to become a show as well.
Well, I support your flipper lifestyle. I'm going to let you know that. You got a friend in me.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way. And that's actually, that is going to be a future conversation on one of these, is going to be a, what's flipping, what's investing, what's paying for the hobby. Because that's how I look at it is, there's people that will shame other people because they're going and grabbing it now and turn around and selling it. And versus, hey, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to hold it for the long game. And then when it's announced, well, I'm going to sell it. Well, technically, I mean, what's the difference there? Flipping and investing. I look at it as you're investing into it. So versus I'm going to sell it now when it's got some heat on it, or I'm going to hold, and then sell it later down the line when it potentially actually gets announced and everything. So that'll be a future video live stream, and definitely I definitely would have you as a guest as well, because you're on that flipper game, as the people say. But
oh yeah, I say it.
I sell to pay, because again, doing mystery boxes is not cheap. Slabbing stuff is not cheap. So that's what I'm doing now. Yeah, right, exactly. Not anymore, right?
Whether it's to pay the rent or pay for your collection, or even bad habits, just do it. I don't know why one's called an investment, because you waited too long. What I do know, and what history tells us, that you're more likely, and this is across the board, I think, for every collectible, right? Especially sports cards. When Thor is not going to tear his ACL, right? Charizard is not going to get a DWI. Sports, it's like, oh man, what's going to happen? You never know. And so to me, it's tried and true that the immediate flip is a guaranteed win. It may be small and incremental compared to, man, if you hold that book for, 10 years or even 5 years, with the way that they churn out, movies and series and everything, but no difference. Listen, your LCS flips, Target flips.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, and that's the thing, is I look at it is, or I'll do stuff where if it's not going to be in my PC, I'm going to sell it. Because again, I'm going to sell it to fund, that gives me more funds to buy other stupid books. Shit,
Yeah. Your big books are not going to come to you by waiting 10 years with every book that you're buying today, Yeah. I know a certain book that you got your list, right? Did you got a 2022 list?
Yeah. Which I'm going to have to alter that, because I've realized that some of these books are a lot harder to find, period. Like the Afro Samurai book, the first appearance of Afro Samurai, which is in that, what I will butcher it. It's like Now How, or however the hell you say it. That's a magazine that had his, I have actual collectors, guys who run through buying collections and stuff throughout Central Florida and South Florida, looking for some of these books, and they're like, yeah, I can't find any of these. So I'm going to have to modify my top 10 list and change some of the books up. Because even like the prototype of Thor, what is it? Unexpected, or Tales of the Unexpected 16. That book, I can't find that anywhere. Like, not on eBay, nowhere.
Nobody's getting rid of that. Those are private collections, museums.
Yeah.
Mama J has a question about slabbing.
Yes. So we can get to that. So it's. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna start it off with this. Slab whatever you want. Honestly, don't ever let. And that's what I tell anybody. Like, don't ever let somebody tell you what to slab and what not slab. For if you're looking to resell, slabbing stuff that has first appearances that are key issues, like first appearances, deaths, events, stuff like that. Those are ones that'll hold more value in a slab. Older books, obviously, you get into the silver. Which one?
Oh, this is just a flex on Mama J. That's all.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
This is just eye candy while she listens to your ASMR.
So, like me, I have stuff like the stuff over here. Well, I can't even reach it over here. This one up top here. What is it? Maniac in New York. It's Brian Silverback's cover. I love the cover. I wanted to get it slabbed. Same with, that's not Brian Silverback's. That's Hendrix Silverbacks is my Dead Presidents. This one. That's not going to that's not really a money maker book, but one, I love Dead Presidents, and two, I love the comic. I love the recount, and three, I like Brian Silverbacks as an artist. So that's why I got that one slabbed. And then you have you have
slab books that you don't mind out of your hands for 14 to 20 months.
Well, 7 now. We're at 7.
We're good. We're getting better.
We're getting there, yeah. Oh man, and that's one of the things I'm like. I've talked to a couple people down there because they're about an hour and a half away from where I live. So it's funny because they were doing a hiring thing, and they've been hiring people. I know they were hiring up to 500 people by September, and then they announced they're doing like coin stuff, and they're doing the poster game now where you can slab and grade posters and stuff like that. So we'll see. They just got to get their quality. I think they got to get their quality control.
Look at this guy.
This was for me that I had the Marvel Super Action when I was a kid, and I found this, and it's not the greatest grade. It's 5.5, but I found this one, and I was like, yeah, man, this is one of the comics that I loved. Some good Jack Kirby art.
Gonna get you big there. Oh, I didn't do that. Maybe. Nope, not me. There we go.
Some good Jack Kirby art, like nothing special, but I love the cover. I love the story, and when I found a decent copy, I was like, I gotta get this slabbed. I have to.
So vivid. Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, and that's that was another thing. I mean, this is 1968.
Yeah.
Look at how sharp that looks. I mean, you can definitely see some yellowing of the cover, but
I like that.
Man,
if that was restored, I'm sure it's got like, what do they call that? Like patina, but not patina.
Yeah.
Like history. I don't know, character. Also, yeah. I do believe, speaking of first appearances, because that's one of the topics tonight, I do believe that was the first appearance of Captain America in full horizontal, because usually he's vertical. Right? I think this is the first horizontal. That's beautiful.
Well, and that's another thing too, like, because I mean, to actually, to add to the actual topic of the night, like when it comes to the first appearances, do you guys as collectors, and chat, this is for you as well, do you guys consider cover appearances like first appearances and everything? I thought I muted my phone. But do you guys consider cover appearances? Because we have that right now with Venom. And even, 2 characters with Venom. We got Bedlam. Isn't it Bedlam? I think is the character that he's going to be on a exclusive.
He's going to debut on a cover.
Yeah, and it's like, what the hell? So, and that's the thing too, is like from a collector standpoint, and again, going into if that character comes to fruition and actually makes an introduction into the MCU somewhere or into Venomverse, what implications does that have with it being a first appearance, which is on the cover versus actually first appearing in the book?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't there a big controversy too? And I'm going by something that I saw on YouTube, but where a first appearance came from a store exclusive. Did you guys hear about that? It was fairly recently, within the past couple of weeks, and I want to say it was Venom. I think it was Bedlam.
Yeah,
wasn't
I might be thinking of the same one.
Yeah, because it was Comics Elite. Comics Elite's cover had it, and then even like the other guy, I think it was or maybe it wasn't. I think Comics Elite had the other one, where it was the other big bad, like the god-looking guy, and that was issue number 2, second print, I think, from a store exclusive through Comics Elite, where it was. Hold on a second. I've got my handy dandy League of Comic Geeks up here, so let's look at that. We'll pull it up right here live.
I don't know, like a first appearance store exclusive just seems so rigged.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. And I know Wink had a thing a week or two ago where he had oh my god, I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna feel bad for not remembering who he had on there, but he had a guest on there, and they talked about that. They talked about that was the Venom where they had the store exclusive that was going to have the first cover appearance and first appearance of the character.
And then wasn't Null kind of the same way where they released he had his first appearance, but then they went back and did what was it, a second or a third printing?
Mm-hmm.
Was it number 3, Venom number 3?
I believe it was 3, the second, or 3 the third print. I can't remember exactly which one that one was.
And it was like, what was really the first appearance? Because I want to say they came out maybe the same.
Yeah, true.
You know, they were there. I know that there was that debate, you know, is 3 the first appearance because it's the second print of issue 3, or is issue 5 his first appearance because that's when he actually first appears?
Yeah. So it looks like the Bedlam cover is going to be with issue number 5 next week.
That's
that one, when that one releases,
week.
That'll be next week. Yeah. So I mean, again, you look at that too. Is like how much weight does that carry, especially when it's a store exclusive. I think that's kind of the crappy part of it too, because it's like, one, a lot of store exclusives don't carry value after the initial release. You know, unless it's like a very small printed run, like a 250, 300 printed run. I know like some of the ones that are lower 250, 300 print runs have a little bit more value still, but I've seen where they just don't carry value anymore.
Well, I don't see them stopping the Venom train.
No.
And Bedlam, that cover, he looks. I know. I don't know about how I feel about being so close to. I know he's not Carnage, but the color scheme. I know he's big. It's bigger.
Yeah.
Right. They're all just gonna keep getting bigger until it's just like Godzilla versus the new Venom.
Right.
One. But he does look pretty dope. I can see that taking up a movie screen. But totally rigged. Now what do we do?
Yeah, because that's. Go ahead.
I was going to say what I'm surprised on too. Because I'm going through that process right now. I'm working with a store that we're producing a variant. I'm surprised that Marvel let that fly for whoever did the store exclusive cover. Say, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and take this brand character, put him on the cover. I'm surprised that happened because I don't know. Just with where we're at, it seems like there's decent amount of just rules and regulations to get something approved to go on a cover.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's got to go through that whole, and that's what I've noticed. Just because with trying to get my shop an exclusive, like I've been working behind the scenes trying to do that because, you know, I kind of want to tilt my hat and be like, hey, look, I made this one happen just by talking with Boom and talking with their team. Like, you have to buy a specific amount of covers. You have to invest into that. And they actually, you know, unless like you're like where Bigsby, you're a creator yourself where you're creating the cover, like they give you a list. Like with Something's Killing the Children 21, there's a list of covers that you can choose from, and then you can put into nice question there, Fox. So
I mean, I know the
answer, but you know, you can only choose the covers that they're offering. It's not like you can be like, hey, we're bringing this cover. Whereas like Bigsby, if you're, you know, like the independent thing, like if you go the independent route and then like go through something like Kickstarter where you're like, hey, I want to fund this, I want to put this in, let's work on this as a store exclusive, like you're saying, you know, it's or shop exclusive. It's crazy how that works and how the approval process works. Because even like with Venom 2, that was the other one, like the God creature that, you know, Dylan saw or they saw in issue 1. That was one of the they had a trade and a virgin set of that character too, and it's like, you know, it's a little crazy how some of that stuff gets approved.
Yeah, and that's you know, I know that's the big thing that we had to go through is we had the list because we were looking at after.
Mm-hmm.
We list of these are the books that are done and coming out, and here's what you can choose from. And if you don't make a choice by this date, this list is void, and you get a completely different list after that. So, and then you get some companies that aren't, even at this point, aren't even doing variant covers at number.
Right. Yeah, because my shop had, what was it, Batman? It was Batman 50, right? The wedding. They had that exclusive, so it was pretty cool to see that. I have a couple copies of those signed by, was it Don Montague or whatever, the artist? I think that was their name, Don Montague or Montague. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see my shop be, come out, get tied to one. But the problem is he doesn't want to make the investment because, again, when you get into that aspect, people say, "Oh, print run at 350." Well, that's a lie, because you have to have, I think it's like a minimum of 1,000 copies. Again, you're getting more than 350 because damages and stuff like that. So you got to be able to replace the damages and whatnot. So
I'm thinking as something as big as a Venom, like the potential there, that that minimum had to be, if that's the agreement, that minimum had to be sky high.
Well, from what I hear with Marvel and I think it's DC too, both of them, I think it's a minimum of 3,000.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just feel like that should be bigger. I don't know. I just think it's too big. I think it's just, I don't know.
Well, when it comes to an exclusive, I mean, especially like when they're all, especially how like the online stores are now and everything, it's like they would end up with so much. They end up with so much left over, to where they start just throwing stuff in. I've seen shops who are tied to exclusives that are on eBay selling bundles, like 10-book bundles, starting at the lowest amount, starting at a penny. And I'm not afraid to say, to admit that, or I'm not ashamed to admit that I've won a couple of those bundles for like half cover price. So it's like, getting them, I'm like, well, shit, they're exclusives and they're by an artist I really like. So
now you've cornered the market. You probably have more in your collection than any single store than the store.
And I've got and I got a short box full of them, and like, well, how the hell am I going to get rid of them? Because with that happening, and you see, and then the value of them, because again, exclusives drop unless it's like something big, right?
Or do a mystery box, and part of your guarantee is every box has one of these covers.
Yeah.
Hey, kid,
it'll be something.
Company artist, can we see the company work? Can we get an update
on where are we progressing at?
On your latest?
Give me just a minute. Finish on something in real quick. Okay.
Get ready. Damn.
Man, always great work, man. I love my Venom that I got from you.
Wow,
that's sitting
cool.
up there.
Yeah.
Love the artwork, man.
Thank you. Yeah, is that the Scotty Young one?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one, the separation anxiety style. Yeah.
That was the first time I ever drew Venom.
Nice. Well, you did a good job with him. It's awesome. But that's well, speaking of Scotty Young, I tell my shop I get 2 of his covers every time he drops one, even if I'm not reading, because
Geeky Mobber is about to enter the StreamYard.
Oh, nice. Oh man, yeah, get her on here, because she's no longer really pops. She's in the comic game now, and she's giving her little reviews and everything on IG. I'm liking it. I wish she would come back to YouTube and grace us with her presence on YouTube, because I really enjoyed her channel. But I mean, it's when it's not fun, and that was my thing, that's why I've kind of changed up the what I'm doing on my channel, just because if it's not fun, because of Scotty Young.
Yeah, you said the magic word sometimes.
Yeah.
She's coming anytime. She's like, let me tell you, she's going to be, no matter if she's in a nightgown, if she's at Applebee's, she's coming live. She's like, all right, I'm here to talk about Scotty boy.
Yeah, I mean, and I was hoping when he came to CGC to do the in-person signing, because he was here in the fall, I was hoping my shop would have talked to the team and been like, talk to his management team, be like, hey, let's do a store signing, because I think he would sell incredibly well. because people love that art style. I mean, again, me personally, I have a shit ton of stuff just so that when I see him, like I'm going to be going out to, because Paul Dunn talked me into it, I'm going to be going to Planet Con in Kansas City, and I know he's a Kansas City guy, so I'll be getting him to do some sketches and signatures for me. But he's one like me and Johnny will watch his IG stuff when he does the time lapse stuff on IG. Johnny loves him. You know, that's when he's always, every time I get the covers, he's like, "That's Scotty Young." I'm like, "Yep." Oh, Momoko, yeah, she's got some nice covers. Her cover for Punisher, it looks nice. I know that some people are upset with the whole Punisher changing logo and all that fun stuff, but her Punisher cover, and then what is it? There's a Spider-Man one that's coming out that she did that looks amazing. Oh, I like that one. Did that come out today?
That was
yesterday.
This is the haul, but I had it with some other Wolverine books.
Nice.
She's, you know what it is?
I like that one.
She's so all over the place, and she's killing it. But you can tell when either her heart's in certain ones, or it's like, look at how she's maxing out when she has 5 minutes free. Because I just don't know how she has the time in the day.
Oh yeah,
with her workload. I just feel like sometimes, like, man, imagine if she could focus. I mean, it's hard to critique like this. I don't want to say the wrong things because I'm not trying to insult anybody.
Have you ever
someone like, huh?
Have you ever watched her live stream on IG when she paints?
I need to actually catch one of them.
It's amazing. I mean, it truly is. It's like meditation.
Wow.
Really neat. That, and I've gotten wrapped up in art talk.
TikTok, art talk?
Art talk. And there's an artist on there, Scott Sava. He did the Spider-Man Quality of Life book, which is like, and he directed on Netflix, but he's an artist. I got this from him.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
And he whips these things out in like 30 minutes. That's amazing.
Cool. That is cool.
And just watching him, because he does watercolor, and it's absolutely gorgeous to watch. And same thing, I'll sit there, I'll turn it on. Like if I'm in between customer calls or something, and I'll turn it on my phone, and it's just like zoning out for 20 minutes just watching him and how quickly he can get stuff done. It is really awe-inspiring.
Nice. Yeah, I like watching the art stuff, man. I suck at art, and I could, I can do good stick figures. But I love watching people do the art, man. And that's one thing that's so fun is watching Scotty, and then even because he's doing live streams now here on YouTube, and he'll have guests on, and he does one of his sketches while he's sitting there talking to them. And then I think it's Megan is the person that he works with, everything, because she handles like the questions and the giveaways and stuff like that. And it's just,
wait, there's a giveaway?
What's that?
We're gonna hear from Kenny Byrd any second. There's like
oh.
You know how Scotty Young triggers geeky. You're gonna see somebody pop in. You said it.
Oh, because I said giveaway.
That's how it's gonna happen.
Gotcha. So yeah, no, I'll tell you, it's cool to see it, man, because just to see them create and everything. And you can see like the one cover that just kind of was just like, what it was like, you could see maybe she didn't care for it as much, was that Spider-Man cover where it looked like the web was coming out of his butt, where it looked like he was shooting the web out of his ass. So it was, I can't remember what issue it was, but I was like, yeah, oh man, that's a rough cover.
I can't imagine that's what the company man is about to do right now. No. Maybe that's what stuff I might ask for. Spider-Man shooting mangoes out of his asshole.
I'll tell you the your little the mini comic, Bigsby, Johnny Johnny saw it and grabbed it and started reading everything. And he was like showing me all the panels. He was getting so excited and everything. And he's like, and it came to the swear word. I think it says bitch in there once. And he's like, oh, I'm like, he read it and didn't mean to because he was just reading it. And he looked at me and I'm like, it's okay. You were reading it. He's like, it's a B word, Dad. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm like, no, you didn't mean to say it. And then I think he says damn in there as well. And so he stops like, it's got or a C word. He's like, I'm cooking dinner the one night and he's reading it. He's like, oh, Dad, it says it has a C word. And again, my mind being, a grown child, I'm thinking, see you next Tuesday. And I'm like, what? There's no way that's in there. I'm like, what is the word, Johnny? He's like, crap, Dad. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay. I'm like, different four letter C word. So
we're so tainted, right? We're like, oh wait, what does it say?
Yeah.
And it's like cooties. Oh, okay.
So innocent being 7. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
enjoy that. Enjoy it.
That is definitely one thing. Just because I had young nieces and nephews at the point when I drew some of those. So it's like, well, I just can't swear because I want them to be able to read it.
Right.
And there's one picture that I drew of my nephew. No, it was my nephew telling the story where somebody flicks somebody the bird. And it's just a side profile of it. So, you can't really tell, from the side. But my nephew saw that and he's like, oh, I would never say that. I would never tell him to do that. And I'm like, it's just a story. No. But I don't want to get in trouble for it. And I'm like, dude, I completely made this up. Like he didn't get it. But.
Yeah, I mean that's like, well, Parent of the Year. I had just started collecting and I bought the trade paperbacks for Middle West, not realizing that in the first couple pages, the kid pretty much yells at his dad, F you. And I've got Johnny in my lap and I'm reading it to him. And I'm like, oh, I got to stop there. And he's like, and he had just started reading. He's like, what's it say? I'm like, freak. He's like, and then again, because he's well, I think it was like 5. He was 5 at the time, going on 6. And he wants to sound it out. So he's like, I'm like, don't say it. Look, you're not allowed to say that word.
Well, that's this past weekend. I was running errands with Jack, and we're walking through Target, and he was like, we had stopped at a couple of places. He had gotten a comic book, he had gotten toys, he had gotten Pokemon cards. So we're at Target, and I'm like, you're not getting anything. Like, I literally need to stop here and pick up cleaning supplies and soda. Like, we're just going in and out. He's like, okay. So, of course, Dad, let's walk past the Pops, and let's walk, through the figures. Let's see this. And then he's whining the whole store. Just, can I get this? Can I get this? Please, can I get this? Can I get this? And I was getting frustrated. My wife calls me, and I have her on speaker, and I'm just like, yeah, Jack's really working on my nerves. As we walk down the aisle, he goes, yeah, I'm acting like a damn fool. And all of a sudden, I'm like, no. And he yells it out, and there's like the house mom in the aisle, and they all turn and look at me, and I'm like, yeah, thank you. That's me.
Yeah. No, it's what was it? Man, it's funny because he'll say that, because again, I mean, we try to shield not shield him, but we try to watch our language around him. My daughter was funny because it was me and her for 8 years, and one time I was driving, I got cut off, and I screamed at the guy, and I'm like, "You stupid mother effer!" And then it was a parent in the back seat, "You stupid mother effer!" And I start swerving like, "You can't say that! Like, you can't say that! Well, you can't." And then she's like, "Oh, it's just." She starts crying. I'm like, "It's okay." I'm like, "I'm not yelling at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm just letting you know you can't say those words." So
she got your back though.
I try the same thing where I really do try and not, but same thing. There are situations, and I yelled something out, and Jack just from the back seat goes, "I won't repeat that."
Oh, the judgment.
Yeah. Oh no, Johnny gets me. He'll say, "You're saying a bad word, Daddy. You can't say that. You're not allowed to say that." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm allowed to say that. I'm a grown ass man. You, a little boy, can't say that."
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, being a construction guy, growing up in construction, my dad was also, he was a merchant seaman between Tampa and going from the port of Tampa to Texas, on tugs and everything. So, I mean, I had a very colorful language growing up myself. So many times I got in trouble on the baseball field and playing football for using some of the words, some of the sayings that I heard my dad saying and everything. So, yeah. Or the dirty jokes, because my dad would tell some of the dirtiest jokes in the world. And, being in 7th grade, repeating a couple of them, the teacher was behind me and she's like, you need to go to Mr. Charles's office. I'm like,
well,
what?
I never. Look
Well,
how
yeah.
wow! Look how vividly you recall his name. You must
Oh,
have
yeah.
been there all the time. Oh yeah.
No.
He was like my godfather now.
I grew up playing sports with his son, so I knew him. So there was that
yeah.
tie. So yeah.
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 Well, between construction and like the pirate life, the port of Tampa, Sava talk like Geeky Mountain Bear. I'm surprised. Like I have said more foul words tonight than you have. You're actually censoring yourself. So I think you've come a long way, dude.
I'm trying to keep it to where it's not too bad. What was this, Kiki? Let's pull this up. Daughter was 3 when she heard you say bitch. Thank God she understood. Or she witch. She kept saying witch for a week. Nice, yeah. Charles was in charge. You're right. Quick Draw. Now he was a good guy. He coached football too. So his daughter ended up going to Florida State cheering. His son played football at Florida. Very, very talented family. And she ran track too. So all right. Well, I mean, it's been fun. I mean, I appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with me, but it is past my bedtime now. I gotta get my little butt to bed, or my big butt to bed, and get ready for another long day. But it looks so good, man.
Dude,
good.
God, it's gorgeous. When you put it up before with the color, I was like, dude, it's got like Danny Phantom Spidey vibes. There's a Danny Phantom this, and I love Danny Phantom. It's a huge compliment. I love the way this looks. He is gonna flip.
I've been watching a lot of Butch Harmon too, who is Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
I've been picking up on some of his proportions, and I really, like I said,
I'm loving it.
So
that's so cool, man. I mean, again, your art's, I always enjoy seeing your art, but that's cool. Like the little intricacy, because you even said before, like you've done that where Scotty Young was an influence for you and everything. So, but next week the cover battle. So prepare. Cheers. We're not doing cover battles next week. We're not doing that here. Maybe we will. I don't know. Quick Draw. Nothing set in stone. But I think next week.
Quickie got shut down.
Yeah, shut it down real quick. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna probably cut it there. I appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out. I appreciate chat, you guys hanging with us. Everyone who came by, some new names that came out. I appreciate you. And again, these two great gentlemen. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Fox, for hanging out and spending some of this Thursday evening. So if you guys, again, for anyone, if you're watching this on the replay or if you're here now in chat, I will be doing this every Thursday. It's a laid back style. We talked about first appearances of cameos, and then we kind of just splintered off into whatever talk, because again, that's just what I'm looking to do here. I'm not try to keep it structured. And
well, I like the schedule you got going on. I like the syllabus you posted. I kind of like how where this is going.
Yeah, I mean that's my plan.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for letting me on, man.
Yeah, thank you, Bigsby. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Do you guys have any parting words for the good old land of YouTubes?
I'm just here for the giveaway. I was told it would drop in 4 minutes, and I'm here to cash in. And if that's off the table, then I'll just say thank you and good evening.
How about you, Bigsby?
I have nothing. Just everybody happy. Everybody be friendly. That's about it.
Nice. Well, you guys know how I always say it. Tell somebody you love them. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button. We're always shooting for 10 whole likes. That's it. That's all I'm shooting for. 10 likes. Leave a comment below. Again, thank you so much. Till next time. See ya.